Hi there, my name's Martin Stone from Switch On Health, and I am very happy and excited today to be having a wee chat with our first ever graduate in naturopathy, Tanika Baker from Port Macquarie. Tanika, congratulations.
Thanks, Martin. I'm very excited, very humbled to be the first, and I hope I serve you guys well in the future. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's been a big journey for me. I actually started studying naturopathy in 2009. I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I finished high school, and that seems like a really long time ago now. And I enrolled in an institution and I studied for quite a long time, and then life happens. I had a daughter and had some health concerns, and unfortunately had to put my studies on hold. And but I couldn't think of anything else I wanted to do. I had no other sense of purpose for any other career choice. So I could be a bit of a stubborn woman, and I soldiered on, and I found you guys actually through the ATMS website. One day I was looking at the institutions that were applicable with them and that could practice, and your institution came up, and I thought, oh, I haven't come across these guys yet. And I had a good look, and I thought, this is, I think, the college for me. So it's been an awesome journey.
Fantastic. Yeah, look, I think, wow, I didn't know that it had actually been 15 years for you. That is amazing. And yeah, look, I think a lot of people can relate to your story. A lot of people want to do this and they try to find a way to make it work. And sometimes there's a bit of a stop and a start, and then other things happen in life. And of course, a lot of people do get into this because of their own health story, and that's
Correct.
all just part of our journey and using that to help other people as well. Yeah.
Definitely. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to. And I was only a baby back then, 2009, would have been 18, 19. And I knew what I wanted to do. And as you said, life gets in the way sometimes. And sometimes people don't get to fulfill their purpose. So I feel really blessed that I was able to do it. And I think, the universe has a funny way of intervening sometimes, and things fall into place when they should.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of these times.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about what was your overall study experience with Switch On Health like?
I love Switch On Health because I'm a bit of a type A personality. I'm always on the go. I have a daughter. I work in the health industry. I have for a long time in health food stores, and I've been around the industry for a long time, and I'm always very busy. So sometimes I can hyper focus on a task and get it done, and sometimes there'll be a little bit of a break in between where I'm too busy. So I found Switch On allowed me to study at my own pace. That was comfortable for me. I didn't feel the pressure of having to have something done at the exact point in time. I could really take in the information and the content and understand it, rather than just trying to rush the content, which I loved. And the experience I found as well with communication has been amazing. The other institution that I studied at was great, but communication was one of the hindrances that sort of stopped me in my journey. And everyone at Switch On is so helpful. You can pick up the phone, someone's there to answer any questions you may have, or if there's a bit of a hiccup, you can just talk through it and figure it out really quickly. So communication was a big thing for me. You guys are there to help and support your students quite quickly and effectively, which I liked. Lovely.
Fantastic. So was there something that made you choose Switch On Health particularly, or it was just right place, right time sort of thing?
I think it was honestly right place, right time. But once I actually started the content, I was surprisingly really shocked at how well the content was written. Being in the industry for a long time as well, I had done previous study in naturopathy as well. I had a relatively good understanding of a lot of it, but the content was it was clinical, it was appropriate. appropriate to real world scenarios, how you would use that information in a clinical sense, or depending on which avenue you want to go down. The information was really helpful, and I found that you could tell that the person who written the content was very experienced and had done clinical experience before or worked in those scenarios, because it's one thing to learn the knowledge or the information, for instance, about a herb, what it does, how it behaves and what we use it for in an indication, but to actually be taught in the content how to apply that to an individual and in a clinical sense was what I found was different with Switch On. So I really liked that. It made me feel prepared to go out and start practicing confidently.
This is music to my ears, Tanika, because we do actually we put a lot of importance, I guess. We place quite a high priority on our content, and I think that this is something that not everybody realizes. When you're studying online, your content really is that main touch point you've got with the college, and it's so important to have content that's not just of a good quality, but that is also really well designed for people that are learning online, because there's a big difference between content that's written for classroom delivery and content that's written for online delivery. So very happy to hear. Yeah, very happy to hear.
In previous studies that I've done, that's another thing that I really noticed is that in previous institutions, there's the basic slides that you're given, and then the lecturer is very much giving them their anecdotal knowledge in person to you. But if you're doing it online via the slides, you don't get that personal touch and that anecdotal knowledge that they've had in clinical applications. So I found that the online content with Switch On did have that application to it. You could read it and really understand it. And it's not like you just were reading basic knowledge. You knew how to apply it as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And, well, I guess a theme that we like to incorporate right throughout our content is, as you said, basically making you ready for practice, getting you ready to actually apply it in the real world as a practitioner, not just as theory or learning,
Definitely. And I noticed that very much in the assignments. Like whoever wrote the assignments, kudos to you, because it was very much that. It wasn't just repeating information that you'd learned. It was actually questions and scenarios that had to make you really think clinically about how you were going to move forward with it, or what you were going to do, and how to apply the knowledge that you'd learned. So I found those really helpful.
Fantastic. So if somebody was thinking about studying and they weren't quite sure, what would you say to them?
I would say give it a go. I mean, even if life gets in the way sometimes, look at my journey, 15 years. But as I said, the universe has a funny way of popping in when it needs to and guiding you on the right path. And if you feel that this is the career choice for you, or you're not quite sure, give it a go. For me, I didn't want to give up on the idea, and I didn't. And in doing so, things fell into place. I had an amazing supervisor. I would say when you are in your studies and you're at that level where you can start doing clinical hours, I would say get onto that as early as possible if you have no experience in the industry, and take in as much as you can, and practice under or do some clinical experience practice under different practitioners or over time, because everyone's different. Everyone has a different thought process, different way with people. I was lucky enough that I've been able to do that with a lot of naturopaths in the industry over time. But I think if you're thinking about studying, do that clinical practice early, as early as you can, when it's applicable to you and you're ready, and go to the seminars, watch the webinars, network with people, do all of that. Because ultimately for me, now that I've finished, that was a game changer for me to allow me to go straight into practice. So I had guidance and knowledge from so many amazing practitioners who helped me get here to the point where I've been given a beautiful room straight up to start practicing in. This is my room here, and I've been here today just setting it up. and figuring out where I'm going to put my certificate. And I couldn't have done that without the support of my supervisors. So I think find a supervisor that you gel with who's happy to guide you and help you. And networking. It's, you know, networking with the representatives of practitioner companies that offer you a student account. Get onto that. Naturopath with a student account was amazing because they had sample reports that you could look into and read and get an understanding of how that works before you go into clinical practice, so you're not a deer in headlights. I would say if you're interested, give it a go.
Fantastic. It's a really heartwarming story, Tanika. And so this room you're in right now, this actually is the beginning. This is a beautiful transition, isn't it? You know, from Switch On Health to this is your new life and practice.
Correct. The doors opened, and they just continued to keep opening, and it was just a snowball effect. And my supervisor was happy with myself, and she was feeling a little bit bombarded with patients, and she said, look, I'm happy to offer you this room and help me and help you within your journey and help me take some of the load off. And she's just one room over, so if I have any questions or if I need any guidance, I can still do that, put my head in and she'll probably hear. But I've been lucky enough to be given this space straight away. You know, I don't have to, I feel confident. The business subject that you guys offer was really helpful in that, helped me start to figure out what I need to do to be ready. And I started planning that as one of the last subjects you do. You start implementing those little things as a student to get you ready. So without that, I wouldn't have been able to do this.
Fantastic. And I understand you've got clients lined up already. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Again, my amazing supervisor has been so helpful. You know, she'll say, oh, we have this student who's nearly finished and she has a special interest in this and that. And people would be happy to book in with a waiting list. So we had a little waiting list going. And so over time, people that have been interested in that have put themselves on that little waiting list. And yeah, people are ready to go. So it's just dotting the I's, doing the T's. As I said, been here today, updating all those student accounts into practitioner accounts, you know, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and yeah, within a couple of weeks, it'll be all rolling.
This is fantastic. So Tanika, look, congratulations once again, and thank you for being such a great student of ours, such a great client, and I am sure that you are really going to do well in your new career as a naturopath.
So, yeah, I hope so. Thank you very much. And thank you for all your support and the college's support. The tutors have been amazing. Their feedback to help you be a better practitioner has been awesome. And I really liked that. So thank you to everyone at Switch On, yourself included, but everyone who helped me along the way.
Thank you. And look, you guys are the reason we do what we do. So yeah, you've earned it.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it. And for me individually, this was the means of making my dreams come true over 15 years. So I'm ecstatic and I feel very humble and lucky. So.
That's beautiful. Awesome. Well, once again, Tanika, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And please do keep in touch. You know, we really love to, you know, keep that network with you. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you really go places.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys at future events and networking things in the industry. I look forward to it.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Thanks, Tanika.
Thank you.